Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to share some stash busting ideas with you to make some Christmas cards and hopefully use up some of the stuff you've been hoarding. I don't know what it is about tape, but I tend to treat it like it's the most precious thing ever and I can't use it. So these are some beautiful tapes that I got at the Dollar Tree for $1 roll. Still can't use it because it's just adorable even though it was only $1. These beautiful tapes came from Oriental Trading Company. They donated them to my channel. I do want to let you know they sell the Duct brand tape, but they also have their own brand. The Oriental Trading brand has more on a roll. So, and they seem to be very similar quality in case you're looking to get a bunch for some duct tape crafts. We're going to use these in this project too, but I just wanted to share that right off the bat. And paper. I know I am a huge paper hoarder, and then by the time I actually get around to using it, I maybe don't like the style, or it's not just right for my project, and then it kind of sits there. Well, this is pretty gorgeous paper anyway. It's from Oriental Trading. These stacks are 6.5 by 4.5, so they're really great for layering on these 5 by 7 cards. But sometimes the pattern's just a little too bold, especially for this technique where we're going to be using washi tape strips. So here on this one, with this, I made like a little white background. It stands out so much more than on this one where I didn't. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can use acrylic paint, you can use gesso, you could use whiteout if that's what you had. Use what you have. So you just put like a stripe of it down the middle, and then take a paintbrush and just whisk it out back and forth. Just kind of dry brush it out. You can add a little bit more if you need to. You don't want to put too much on because it will take too long to dry, and it will also buckle your paper. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. I have one that I've already done right here. And then I want you to look in your scrap bin and grab any kind of brown paper. It can be pattern paper. It can be a solid paper, anything you like. I ran this through my embossing folder, but I realized that it wasn't really necessary to do that. You can't really see much of the texture when you're done. And I'm just going to lay that down right in the middle of my paper. Now this is dry because I did let it dry. And then I'm going to look at my little washi tapes here. And if you don't have washi tape, it's fine. You can use strips of scraps of paper, like little offcuts, or you can cut some paper that you've had for a while down into strips. You don't have to have washi tape, but it's a really fun way to use it up if you do. I'm just going to kind of alternate my colors. So that one was mostly red, so I'm going to use this one that's mostly green. I like it because you can easily tear it with your fingers. You don't have to get a knife out. But actually, I've done this technique with cut paper strips, and it's so cute. It's really cute to do it on like little gift bags too, like just brown paper lunch sacks. And you can make the cutest little grab bags or gift bags, little presents for like if you have to get a bunch of presents ready for like a scouting troop or a classroom. It's just super easy to do. And very inexpensive, and it looks great. And it's something that kids can do. This is when we make our holiday cards, and we do make them because that's something I've always enjoyed. Even as a child, was doing Christmas cards with my mother. I let everybody make them. I might come up with a plan and then have everything kind of pre-cut if it's something that needs to be cut, and then we'll sit down while the football game's on, and we'll do that together. All right, so there we have our little Christmas tree. And the next thing I want to do is make a stand for it. So I thought it'd be really fun to use one of these pattern duct tapes. And so I'm just gonna, this is how I like to deal with the duct tape. This mat here is kind of not too shiny. It's by Fiskars, and it works really well for the duct tape. I've tried other mats where it's stuck. I think those dollar store mats would work really well. If you take about a 1-inch piece, let's cut it with your X-Acto. Mine's red because there was some crayon carving going on down here that I didn't know about yesterday. There we go. And those scraps are probably too small to save for anything, but I have a piece of wax paper handy just in case. I'll stick them there, and if I think of something to use them for, I'll use them. If it goes a while, then I'll toss them. And then I'm just going to put that little tree stand down at the bottom. Nothing fancy. I think what I like about this is how kind of primitive it looks. And then I've just got a piece of that gold duct tape that I showed you. And don't even forget, I have another idea for that too I want to share with you. And I'm just going to freehand cut a little star. I've cut quite a few stars out of here, so I just want to make sure I've got room. I think I can fit one more on this corner here. I'm probably about due to change my blade. You know what? I'm going to cut one over here. I just totally messed that up. See? Even the experts have problems. Expert. I don't know. If I'm an expert, then the experts have problems. Something tells me Martha Stewart never gets tangled in duct tape. She's got people for that. Alright, I would not want to outsource this, it's too fun. Alright, So now, sometimes if you get a little hanging chad here when you're peeling your duct tape up, it's actually helpful because then you don't have to scrunch up the edges trying to lift it from the mat. There we go. You got a nice little primitive star. Now I did try punching this, and I think I get it right here, the one that I didn't manage to punch. I stuck some to a scrap of paper and I punched it with my paper punch and it worked. So I thought, oh, if I could do that on wax paper and punch it and make a sticker, that'd be great. I tried that, but it didn't work. It punched, but it wouldn't release from my wax paper. So so I just wanted to let you know that I did try that in case you were thinking the same thing I was thinking. But that, I mean, that was cute. I could have used that, but you know, I might as well just use a little gold sticker from the dollar store if I'm going to do that. I kind of like that big primitive shape. Now, to make this a little bit extra special, I've probably pretty much mangled this tape, so I'm going to give up the ghost on that one. To make it a little bit extra special, oh, and I promised I'd show you what I did with that duct tape. Look, I took a piece of that gold duct tape, stuck it on a tag, and ran it through my embossing machine. Isn't that the coolest thing? I'm thinking I'm going to make some ornaments or something with this technique. I saved that because I want to make sure that I can remember it when it gets a little closer to Christmas. So you can do this on a foam mat with a ruler, or on a scoring board with one of these little EK Success like scoring bugs. And then what I like to do is poke holes all the way down, and then grab a marker. This is a Tombow dual brush pen, and I'm using the fine tip, and just go right along the edge till I get about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Then I'm going to do the same thing to the next one. You could probably freehand it. I don't trust that I'm that steady with my freehanding, so especially after I've had a couple of cups of coffee, I decided that I would use the ruler. And I don't know if I'll go over the tree trunk. I don't think that pen will dry on the duct tape, so I'm just going to skip that. This is riveting, isn't it, folks? I really like this project because I feel like the items we tend to hoard are pretty paper and washi tape and duct tape and those things that we're just so worried we can't replace again if we don't use it up. And then what happens is we forget we have it, or something better comes along and we're excited to use that, and then that first item that was too precious at one point just gets disregarded and forgotten about. And the gesso technique, going over pattern paper like that, you could do that with gesso or paint. I love that because you could take a paper that's starting to look a little dated and really spruce it up. By the way, I'm also a designer for Tombow this month, so if you happen to, I don't know, see any Tombow people or make any Tombow orders, just let them know I said howdy. Okay, now I need to pause this. I need to go get a card base, and I'll be right back up and we'll finish the card. Alright, I like to use these pre-made 5x7 craft cards. They're not very expensive. You can pick them up at most craft stores. The thing I like about them is that they're not very pricey, and they're very handy when you're batch making cards like you are for the holidays. Now that didn't wrinkle too much, so I don't have to use a ton of adhesive. There's some in the corners. This is the Tombow Extreme adhesive, which I thought I was out of on my card I made yesterday, but come to find out, I was just user error as usual. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something wrong because it was not happy with me. All right, now I'm going to take this stamp that I've had forever. It's a little postmark. Ink and Ink and Do, I think. A little postmark. This is December 25th. I just love it. I use this every year on my Christmas cards. It's just so versatile. You find a stamp like that, it's so nice to have. Now I like to make my envelopes, you know, match and be a little custom as well. So what I found here, I don't know when I picked this up, but it was just one of those dollar stamps you can find at the craft store. It says Happy Holidays, and it's like a little journaling spot, but I thought I like to use journaling spots for address areas on my cards. So I'm just using some waterproof ink, just, you know, just in case it got rained on outside, you know, en route or snowed on. And I'm just stamping that in the center, and then I can use another piece of washi tape to kind of embellish it, because you'll notice that some washi tapes, like these, they have words, so if you're using it for something like this, you might be cutting it off in the middle of the word, and it might not look that great. So I'm going to use one of these to embellish my envelope. Just find the end here. And these are so cute. I just really like using these. They're fun when you use them. They're not so fun when you hoard them. Okay, so use your stuff, guys. So, you know, I've got a couple examples. I'll show you again the one I did without using the white in the background, and the one I did with the white. So you can decide whether it's worth that extra step for you, because obviously it is an extra step and it might make your paper wrinkle, but it's cute either way, and I do hope you try it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're curious about any of the products that I used, check out the links below. Below is this way. Yes, I know my up from down. You can check that out and find all of those things as well. I hope you have some really fun and easy Christmas card ideas. If you have them and you want to share them with me, leave a link below. I'd love to go see them. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy crafting.